What's up, Chief Sumo? You've lost
Hey
quite
there,
a bit
little
of weight.
Sumo.
It's weird.
No. Oh, yes. I have lost weight, but I've been drinking and eating a lot, so I actually feel a little disgusting.
Oh, I have really been drinking and eating quite a bit.
Yeah.
You see, this looks kind of gross on this camera. Actually, you can't see the rest of the sumo belly. So what are we talking about today? So we're talking about Wantrepreneurs today. Is that right?
We are. And I saw a presentation recently called Confessions of a Wantrepreneur, and I don't hate, no, I hate them. I really do. And I want to rid the world of them. One of the things that I think I get the most satisfaction out of Sumo is killing the Wantrepreneurs and having them graduate to entrepreneurs or like people that are doing businesses. So like I hope, this product or other things we do just really kill them. And
So you
motivate
can
them to actually.
graduate from Wantrepreneur pretty easily, right?
That's a fucking great question, man. It's tough. I think it's really tough. And I'm trying to really understand like the psychology of a entrepreneur. So how do they break out from the day-to-day excuses? How do they break away from reading, a lot of different articles and books and magazines or buying products, even like, the Sumo Business Blueprint? I would actually prefer if they stopped doing that. I know it's bad for business, but truthfully, like, I know maybe I shouldn't say stuff like that. It's like, it is. It's bad.
No, but that's a huge problem with them. All they do is like read stuff, but they never do anything.
Yeah, and they buy things, and the thing is, I think there's a few different ways that I found them psychologically trying to understand them, like to get out of it. So I think there's accountability. So either bringing on someone that's external or putting a monetary thing like, hey, I'm going to give my friend $1,000 if I don't do X. That's a good way to do it. I think the smallest thing, and I've talked about this before, is really like a daily commitment. I think for me, that's been the most helpful in terms of like every fucking day, 15 minutes, I'm going to commit. And I think one other one that's really big in terms of my list is that I think you'll need to really understand what they want. Like, why do you want to be an entrepreneur? Why do you want your own business or side business? And do you really want it? Because I feel like that's the thing that separates a lot of people, where it's like they want the outcomes. Like they want to be like you, where you wear a sumo suit around and, you like.
And it's 2 p.m. and I'm at home right now, chilling, doing whatever I want. See?
Actually, I don't think they don't want that. We're going to edit that part out. No, but what they want is like like I'm going to work from Nicaragua in December, and I worked in Costa Rica last year, and they like those things, but a lot of the part is the work, and it takes a lot of work to make those stuff happen. But in terms of understanding, for me, I enjoy doing those things, and I don't want to work in someone else's office, and I didn't really want to do work that I don't enjoy. And so in helping understand myself and people reflecting on themselves, it'll help them break through of being a wantrepreneur.
Now, I think a lot of people start out as wantrepreneurs, but then something finally kicks them in the ass and they finally realize it. My first business in high school, there was a kid from California who came into school with a business, and everyone was like, oh, that's stupid, blah, blah, blah. And I thought it was like the coolest thing because it opened up my eyes that you can actually be a teenager and have a business, or you can actually start a business. A lot of people don't have friends with businesses and have never like seen one like that. And so they just stay in the wantrepreneur mode thinking they want to do it, that'd be cool, but they never actually do anything. They also may not know what to do, right? I mean,
they need a blueprint. They need kind of like that compass. But one thing in terms of that, I think, this product shows that. I actually think there's another issue that's probably come up a lot of times, and you've probably felt this, and you kind of are over it, but it's the fear or the pussy or failure actually happening. I've had a number of friends where they go and start the business. They're like, all right, I've read the articles. I got an outsourcer. I know exactly the steps to take to make something happen. And they completely chicken out when one thing goes bad. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I couldn't get this guy to respond to me or something like that. And I feel like,
I've seen people give up after they can't figure out the GoDaddy registration process. I swear to God, like
hard.
One, that is hard, but two, like that should not be an obstacle because there's obstacles every single step of the way, and I don't know if people understand that. They just give up. It's really weird.
It's funny. You were asking me like, how many things have failed for me? Like how many? And literally, I probably have 3 or 5 things fail every day, and I'm not looking for them to fail. Like, a lot of people are like, man, no, you've had a lot of great successes, and you've had, Facebook and Mint and 2 companies that have done, really well. And it doesn't even come close to how many things have failed for me. And so,
can I ask you a personal question about that?
Go deep.
Remember
go deep.
Go deep. Oh, giggity. Remember that one business y'all started, the arcade, Bet Arcade, or something like that?
Yeah. You see the sigh? You see that auto sigh right
Yeah,
there?
so I remember
Did
there was a couple of you guys doing it, and y'all were all like, "Oh yeah, we're doing this thing, and it's like a huge market, and blah blah blah." Y'all seemed so excited, and it seemed like you were going to be successful, but then what happened? You transitioned, and one of the things I like about that is because you found another opportunity that was even bigger, so you just cut the other one and went to the biggest opportunity.
Exactly.
Was that how it happened?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of learning. So what happened was we were building this game called betarcade.com, and the idea of the site was it was Netflix for sports betting, where you pay $20 a month, and then it's fantasy sports, and then we paid out the winners at the end of the month. So we spent literally 3 people, 6 months, $5,000 with legal fees, and we're not, we weren't rich or big company, so $5,000 for a lawyer was very, expensive for us. We did all this marketing, we spent all this time, and then after, 9 months, we finally realized, so we built it for 6, and then 3 more months of trying to promote it, and we were like, man, this is really shitty. So I think the takeaways for me are a few things for entrepreneurs and breaking out of being an entrepreneur, because shitty things like that do happen. One, you got to work on shit you really love to do. You really do. You work on that kind of stuff. There's never a failure point. Secondly, I think what you said is really fascinating. You've got to look for the things that are working well and then extrapolate those. Focus on those. So with BetterK, we built a payments thing that was working really well for us. So we said, our games suck, but this payments thing works well. Maybe we can expand that as a business. And so it's not that you can't.
The quote for that, the term for that is validate your business. And I think a lot of people hear that online, but they don't know. They're like, validate. Okay, what does that mean? I think you guys did like a validation the very hard way. You spent all this time and you built all these different modules and things and everything, and it turns out your payment system was working the best. So that was kind of a validated idea.
Well, I guess the one question then would be how could we have done BetArcade without doing all that building and lawyers and things like that? We did have a sports betting game on Facebook, so we did think we could just push the customers over. But I think we could have easily tested that within our Facebook app. Like, hey, here's what we're doing. Like even just a basic survey to our customers, to the most active users. Be like, hey, we're going to do a thing. 10 of you guys give us $20 via PayPal. And whoever does the best at the end of the month will split up that money. There was no development there. It's a lot easier. And we could have found out in 15 or 30 days whether what we wanted to do was going to work or not.
And how long would it take to build a test like that?
No, I mean, you don't have to build anything. What I could have done is truly taken 20 customers that are already playing our Facebook game, emailed them saying, PayPal us $20, and at the end of the month, we'll distribute the money. I mean, there's no building whatsoever there, but instead, engineers and, we're smart, we know it's going to work, and it, it failed.
Well,
so I think...
Go ahead.
No, dude, I was just going to say, a lot of things will fail, and you have to accept that and look forward to it. And at the end of the day, think, how can I learn from that experience?
So every successful person, I don't like to say millionaire, billionaire, but every really successful person I've ever seen, and tell me if you agree, they just try a lot of shit. I don't know how else to put it. They try a lot of shit. They try a lot of different things. You even said for some of the AppSumo tests that you guys try like 8 tests and 1 maybe will work.
Yeah.
That's like even worse than the 80-20 rule. And so one of the things I tell a lot of entrepreneurs is they're like, oh, well, you have a business, blah, blah, blah. That's so cool, but I can't do that. I'm like, I've probably started like 20 businesses. And like they didn't all have an LLC. They didn't all have business cards. They didn't all have all that crap. They were just like little tests I tried, and only a few of them actually took off. And so whenever someone tries 1 or 2 things, if you apply the 80-20 rule, something like that, your odds are pretty much 0 of trying. So you have to like try over and over. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs are too afraid to try a bunch of things, or they get scared after the first one and don't want to do it again. That's what I see.
I mean, so it's funny, and one thing I tell a lot of people is I'm actually very risk averse. I'm not a big risk taker. And a lot of people think entrepreneurs, they have to go up and be able to comfortable talking to people, and they have to be able to do crazy things. And obviously that's you.
What are you talking about? I don't know.
But I think, actually, have you seen that? Sorry, just quickly. This is our new AppSumo shirt. So,
dude, that's not going to fit me. I hope you have it in parachute size.
But coming back to it, I think what people need to do is embrace themselves and take calculated risks. So if you're not comfortable talking to people, don't build a product where you have to go talk to a lot of people. Then you can reduce that risk. And in terms of myself, like when I left Mint.com, I was guaranteed to be a millionaire if I stayed. And what I did was I said, and I've said this before, is I looked at the equity and I said, all right, well, I'll make $1 million if I can do that. But I started some side projects that I said, I enjoy this more. And if I can make at least half of that or a quarter of that over the same time period, 4 years, then I would do it. And I got it to that point so I could, it was a very easy mathematical decision to say, all right, I'm going to leave Mint to go do this. So it wasn't like I had to do anything that made me uncomfortable. And I think everybody should really, Steve Jobs said it, and I kind of hate that, a lot of people talk about that stuff, but think about each day as a very limited resource. Kind of like, it's a finite amount of time. And I think about that more and more, where it's very fixed. So the risk or the fear that you have is very, obviously it's irrational, but if you look at it from a perspective of, wow, I don't get these days or time back. So if I'm doing work that I don't like, or if I'm not on the projects that I think are actually exciting, think about the death and the day is a finite part. And that might actually motivate you to start, doing a little bit each day and getting that momentum going.
Oh, here's an interesting question. I just want to see how you answer this. Do you think people can become entrepreneurs as they get older?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think it's harder. And so I think people have more responsibilities as you get older. So it's a little bit harder to make that happen. And you're also, I don't know, because I did think when I was young, you get old, you're just kind of like boring and you're supposed to do you're not going to have the skills. I think you have more experiences and you can use those, but you have kids, you have inertia, and it becomes much harder. I think anytime people watch TV, young or old, that is the time where you can actually be doing things if you want to stop being a entrepreneur.
My apartment doesn't even have a TV. It's fantastic.
Kill the TV time and you'll be a successful entrepreneur. I would probably say that's, besides working hard, that's got to be a big thing for people.
What about fear of failure? This is one I hear all the time. The people are actually scared. Now, a lot of entrepreneurs may not get that, but a lot of entrepreneurs are just like, well, I don't know, I don't want to tell everyone that I'm doing it and blah, 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 blah.
Let me ask you, Neville, when are you scared? Like with House of Rave, like you're selling it. Are you scared about that? Were you scared to start it? Were you when have you been scared recently?
It's almost like I'm scared, but here's scared. I kind of block it out at this phase. So I'm always anxious about stuff. I'll tell you, I did that homeless experiment where I pretended I was homeless a long time ago. I know that's not a business, but it was a very risky thing to do. And it's kind of one of those things that you feel a lot of anxiety right before it, but you just do it. And here's my trick. I'm kind of a pussy too, and so I actually trick myself into doing it. So what I did was I told all my friends, I posted on my blog that I was going to do it. And my way of keeping myself accountable in the past was telling everyone I was going to do it, and I was more afraid of failing them than I was of failing myself, which I don't know if that's healthy or not, but at the same time, it was my way of saying, like, look, I am going to do this.
That's great, man.
And I wouldn't wuss out. But on the flip side, I think whenever someone does something like your Bet Arcade, the fact that you cut your losses and ran was really amazing because a lot of people would be so attached to the idea and that their friends would be like, oh, whatever happened to Bet Arcade? Oh, y'all didn't finish it? Oh, blah, blah, blah. People think like that. But I don't know. It just... You can't get caught up with that kind of stuff. That's horrible advice. I don't think that's very actionable.
I think the part about you're telling your friends was good. I'm just trying to think of the fear stuff that I faced myself. Like I had fear about 2 months ago when I was looking at our revenue and our revenue was down and we've hired more people and there's more expenses. So I'm like, wow, we're spending, lots of money on advertising. We're hiring more people and our revenue is down. I'm scared and I'm fearful that we're not going to be able to stay in business and grow the company and have people have these awesome jobs that we all get to work together. And so the way I overcome those kind of fears is I just try to step backwards, or step not backwards, but step kind of at a higher level and see how things are going on. So that's kind of a micro thing where 1 month is bad, but how have we done in the past? What was it about that month that made it bad? So the next month we could actually be improving it. And then it's funny because I was July, and ever since then we've never had a down month, which is fortunate, and I hope we can keep doing it. But it's trying to take a step at a higher level than just worrying about the day-to-day of a fear or risk.
So that's kind of like a thing about, you've already started a business, and so now you're worrying. But I think a lot of people that are watching probably have never, ever started a business. And so that's a little bit different. What if they're like in college or out of college, have a job, and they want to start a business? That seems a little bit harder, right?
I think it's easier. I think it's easier. Yeah. So I think the best times to start a job are when you have a job or you're in school. Or best times to start your own business are when you have a job or in school. In school, you have no risk and your time is worthless. So you can spend all the time you want making it. And even if it doesn't fail, at least you get your degree and then you can go do a boring job. So college is perfect. All you have is time and other people to have sex with. So after you have sex and then maybe a little bit of school, you can go out and spend all the rest of the time if you really want to make things happen. People want it, but they just don't want to put in the effort. And I can't force them to put in the effort. That's something that they have to try to understand and be self-aware.
You know, I saw Gary Vaynerchuk. He had a great quote, and he was just like, anytime I hear one of my friends complain that plays 3 hours of fucking Guitar Hero a day, I don't give a shit about them. And I think that's really cool because, like, in college, you finish your work, and then most people just hang around, smoke pot, drink. I don't know what they do. But, like, really industrious people will go out and start, I don't know, doing shit, just trying stuff, hustling.
Yeah, I mean, the college one is, there's a whole other, discussion that can go on for a long time about in college, how to meet people and how to get things going. But you have a great opportunity where you have other smart people around you, either technical or not. You have lots of resources. You have professors. People will listen to you. So you do have the ability. It's just more, do you want to put in the time? I would say if you have a job, like when I worked at Intel, I worked at Intel on my side projects. And at Intel afterwards, fortunately, if you have a job, you have income. So there's no risk. There is no risk. It's like, I have this income. It's going to be fine. And after work, I did like an hour to 2 hours each day. And then on weekends, I'd work on side businesses. So I created a student discount card. We did College Up, which is a college Craigslist. What else did we do? We did consulting. So, I mean, we built a lot of this after work. And because I had a job, it made it very convenient that I don't have a risk about it. Because if this doesn't work, it's okay. I still have my job. The third person... Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying the third person is if you're fucking unemployed and you have bills, I'd probably go get a job at Walmart, get something to pay, get money, and then start doing things out. So you don't have as much risk that, wow, I have to roll the dice, and if this works or not works, I'm screwed.
Here's a really typical failure to launch I've seen. A lot of my friends will want to be doing stuff, and the funny thing is they're programmers or designers. They're people that actually can build stuff, which is really crazy. So they actually have a big leg up. However, the problem is they're always like, oh, well, I need a business card, I need a cool website, and I need I need an LLC corporation, or should I get an S corporation? Should I hire a lawyer to talk to about this? All those things, how much money has that made them? Big fucking zero. None of those things have made any money. None of those things have proven an idea. A lot of them have really crappy ideas, but don't know it. And they tend not to validate them. And it's hard to tell them, like, no, this isn't a big idea. They're like, no, it's the next Facebook, dude. Facebook's huge. Why, I could just be 1% of Facebook, right? They never validate their stuff. And they do all this other stuff, like buy business cards and write mission statements.
Exactly.
It's so stupid. Do AppSumo people even have business cards? I don't even know if I've ever seen a
No,
business card.
No, we don't.
Yeah, you're like a big company now. You don't even have business cards.
We're not that big. I mean, it's all relative.
I'm talking about size.
We are big. Yeah, man. I mean, let's talk. It's going long, and I don't know if there's still like 5 people still watching. The thing that I think I want to talk about is why not to buy this product and why not to do this. Because I honestly, one of the things that I would say one of the things that makes me the happiest with AppSumo is when people come up. What is his name? Isaac Hill. Oh my God, Isaac Hill and Esprit. They literally email me like once a week or every other week, and they're like, dude, I bought this product, I executed on it, and I got the results that I wanted. And I'm just like...
And send the mind map? They always send the mind
map?
Yeah, they take notes.
She loves this, the mind maps.
Yeah.
But it's more the fact that like they're buying stuff that we're curating and discovering and getting special prices on, and then they're actually using it, and they're seeing the results that are making their lives or their professional life better. The thing that I fucking hate more than anything is when people are like, yeah, I bought it and I haven't used it yet. So what I really want to encourage people to think about is don't buy this if you're not really going to try and do it. Like commit 30 days. We've talked about it a lot. Commit 30 days and make something happen. But if you're not ready to do that, don't get this yet. Come back, get it later. But for now, like if you're not ready to commit, don't. I mean, I don't know. What do you think about that? Like who should not be buying this?
No, I used to sell products to people that I didn't know. I didn't know the market very well. I hated answering customer phone calls and stuff like that. And it's because I just didn't care. This stuff I actually care about. And I hate it when people, I know, it's just really annoying. Like we make money and like all that kind of stuff. But it feels so much better when people actually use your stuff. And they're like, dude, I actually started a business and now I'm making money and now I'm almost quitting my job. And that's like the cool feeling.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah, it's
can
like
I explain real quick, like something you do in this? I can't believe we forgot about this. There's a video of you in this course that I think is just phenomenal. In fact, at the end, I was about to this part out, and it says, I go up to the camera and stop it. And I'm like, dude, that was fucking awesome. And that was genuine. And it was a video of Noah, and I'm going to flatter you a bit, so shut up and listen. But it's a video of Noah going through and finding an idea, testing out if it's a big enough market, and then putting out quick validation tests on WordPress, on Craigslist, talking to people in forums, blah, 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 to validate the idea before you ever go through it. And that took a total of 18 minutes, and you were actually explaining the whole way what to do in that one. And I just thought that was amazing.
That's cool, man. No, I mean, I love flattery. So yeah, keep it coming. No, I mean, the thing is, like, the whole point is, like, what was really, and I don't know if you're going to edit it in, but we had mistakes.
There was tons of mistakes.
Yeah.
And I had some people watch the course, and you know what they really liked? What I thought I was going to edit all the thing out, like what you were trying to sign up for MailChimp, and like it didn't show up in your Gmail, and then something didn't work over here. And we left that stuff in, and they were just like, dude, I would have stopped there. They would have stopped at something simple as that. They would have got up and kept going. Instead, you just keep going and going and going. And that actually inspired them quite a bit, which is kind of funny. I just never thought about that. Kind of weird.
Dude, that's awesome. I mean, I wish we could, do you think we could afford Rob Schneider? And then all we do is, like, throughout the videos, he's like, you can do it. You can do it, right? It's just like, I think that's something that I want to get across where, like, you know, kind of tying this full circle, there's, you know, you said something earlier. People don't know. People want to do it, but maybe they don't know how. If you want to know the hows, this is why we've built this. This is going to show you that, yeah, it is hard. You're going to have to do work. If it was easy, everyone would be rich. But here's the blueprint and the format to go make your own business and get that lifestyle or full time or, you know, whatever it is that your goal is.
The course is actually broken up into 3 parts. Whenever you log in, you get the what's called the technical part. So it shows you, you know, kind of like a little bit about the psychology. We quickly go over that, and then it goes over all the technical parts. And then the second part is like how you actually do it. And we actually build a business, like we try to go validate a Chihuahua business of all things. And then the third part is the killing the Wantrepreneurs section. And I somehow think those are all equally important, but that killing the Wantrepreneurs section, I really like. And I like the whole thing. I don't know, but I really think that's such a, man, I ramble on a lot.
No, you're good. That's good, dude. That's good. I mean, I think, you know, in terms of where we're at, it's like, you know, I think someone asked us, they said, you know, can you inspire us? And I actually don't think that's the right question. You need to want to do it. Like, if you want to do it, you can make it happen. If you don't want it, then, like, you can buy all the shit in the world and it's just not going to give it to you. If you want it and you want the blueprint, it's this. The other thing I would say is that I don't know about you. I can't speak for you, but I can assume, and I can speak for myself. I love seeing people start their own things. I love seeing them succeed. Me and you will be the first customers for most of them. If you make like $1 million product, obviously I'm not going to buy your Ferrari. Like, come on now, seriously. I don't even have a car. So we're here to help you. And then one of the things I thought would be helpful is for the first 50 people, you know, a lot of challenges we heard is the momentum and getting started. So for the first 50 people, start something, make a quick video, like a quick YouTube video, post it, and then email ididit@appsumo.com. And the first 50 people will get a bonus from appsumo.com. I'm not going to say the amount because I want people to do it. And it might be big, it might be small, but you just email ididit@appsumo.com a YouTube video of what you've done to get the momentum, and I'm trying to incentivize you to do it. And I think, you know, that should be a good way to get them to start. And also, Neville and I will be your customers, assuming it's not, you know, ridiculously stupid expensive.
No,
I was salivating. Do you see me salivating? I was getting so excited. I love when people start their
That's actually really fucking cool. I really want people to do that. And the funny thing is, if they just watch some of those videos, they can literally almost follow along and start crap like today. I wouldn't be surprised if literally today we start getting submissions.
I hope so. I mean, the easiest business you could do today, like, let me just give a free one. Go to Craigslist, look at prices, check them against eBay, and then just sell them on eBay or vice versa back on Craigslist. I know. Oh, but that one's so stupid. It's not game changing. Yes, but it's a business. You can make money, and then eventually you can adapt that to things that you do enjoy. I do think you should be trying to do things you enjoy, and maybe there's something on Craigslist like selling baseball cards, or you really have a certain hobby. The whole point is start doing something and good things come out of it. It's like a garden. You plant some seeds and then in 6 months you have shit you can eat. Not shit. That sounds weird. It's like, I obviously don't get shit there. I mean, for House of Rave, just real quickly, how did you get it started? How did you do House of Rave from, day zero?
Yeah, and so one of the things is I've never been to a rave, nor am I a raver or care about raves. And so people are like, but you weren't passionate about it. What I was passionate about was trying to start an online business and make some money and do e-commerce. At the time, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do e-commerce. And so I actually went through a list of hundreds and hundreds of ideas. Like I would list anything, furniture, water bottles, couches, whatever it was. And I would cross things off that I didn't think I could sell or didn't know enough about or didn't have enough capital or whatever. And I started whittling the ideas down and down and down and down. And I really wish I knew how to validate like this. This is so much better than what I did back in the day. But finally, I came down to a product that I could possibly sell, and I just ran with that. And the first things I started doing was at least trying businesses. Even before House of Rave, I tried a couple of small, stupid little, sites to maybe try to make money or something like that. I just didn't know how. But all that experience started leading up. So I started like down here. My first things were super shitty and terrible and didn't make money. And then it moved up and up and up and up and up and up. And actually, so one of the really fastest growing companies right now in Austin is Mutual Mobile. And I've known those guys since college, and they're all like 24 years old. They're really young. And I've known a couple of them, and they weren't really entrepreneurial. They were kind of like wantrepreneurs almost. I hate to say that word, but they were kind of like that. And their statement, I love this. They said, okay, we're not making any money on any of these apps we're building. Let's try to make $1. They literally said that. Let's make $1 for the whole month. It seems so stupid. If you told your parents that, they'd crap their pants.
That's a good one.
Yeah. And then they said, and then we'll double it. And they understood that if you keep doubling, that you make a lot of money in the future. And they did that. And once they made that first dollar, then they started making 5 and 10. And then it just grew and grew and grew from there. It was just amazing just making your first couple of dollars.
What are other things? I'm actually kind of curious. What other things have you tried that have failed?
Oh God, I used to do website design. I started a company called Resumite. So I made like website resumes, resume website, Resumite. That was so dumb. I did a company called bodymonkey.com that was originally for body jewelry, which I don't have any piercings, so it didn't make any sense. I did that. And the funny thing is, every single one of these actually made money, which is the weird thing. They all made like a couple of dollars. They all sustained themselves just barely. But only a couple of them actually made a ton of money. So,
I think that, that's something that I think should encourage. Take a risk. If you really want to get the blueprint, this is probably one of the best ones you can find online. And shit, I'm kind of blanking. But,
one of my favorite ones, I owned a palm reading business at some point.
Oh, did you?
Did you remember? I had palmreport.com. I have no idea.
Oh, I remember that.
Don't even go there. I didn't even know what it is. I got rid of it a long time ago. But I found a palm reader, and I developed this, I outsourced this system where you can upload your palm. It was super simple. And people actually started buying it, but it was just more hassle than it was worth, and there was other businesses going better, so I just kind of ditched it. But I tried it. I tried it.
I think that's the greatest thing, man. I'm trying to think of any of my failures, and all I have is success. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I mean, it's just the list goes on from a unique, not unique, but from a day-to-day perspective to a high-level business perspective. So I think we've. What's up, dude?
When you worked at Intel, you used to tell me stories how you would sleep under your desk like George Costanza.
Oh God, it was just such a downer, man.
Did you do businesses like on the side during that time?
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier during our chat. It's I did collegeup.org, which was a college Craigslist that completely failed. Our college consulting did okay. We did a little bit of work for Dell. I went through the alumni list at UC Berkeley, and I was like, oh, what companies do I want to work for? Do I want to do consulting for? And then I just messaged the alumni. That actually worked out really well.
Oh, what about this question? Do you have a lot of people think I need to be a programmer and blah blah blah. They have to have some really in-depth skills. What do you think about that? That people who complain about that stuff, I don't have any particular skills.
I don't know if they are complaining and they're whiny bitches, but but no, the real thing is just more of I think they need an understanding that you don't need just that to make it happen. And I think what we try to show you, the eBay Craigslist idea that I showed earlier. It's not that that's complicated. I know that's kind of basic, but it's the idea that try to validate and do things without building technology. The businesses that I showed you were very simple, education businesses around different products for disc golf or for the Chihuahua stuff. Or it even could be a local thing. I told you I got a bodyguard, right? I have a bot. I mean, he's an assistant, but he helps out with things. And I started telling other friends about it, and they're like, "Hey, I could use an assistant." So I could easily create a business without technology, just saying, emailing friends like, "Hey, who needs an assistant?" And I could screen and vet them, and then just give them the assistance for whatever hours they need.
When I used to do like stupid website design for like $100 a whole web page or something like back in college, that's what happened. It just stemmed into something else, and then I was getting $5,000 SEO contracts and all that kind of stuff. And it literally just increases and increases. It's really neat how it works.
Dude, that's hot sauce, man. Is there anything else left for us?
I don't know. I think we're all good on this one, but I don't like entrepreneurs that have a lot of talent that they're just wasting. It's kind of, I don't know. I see people wasting time on mission statements and stuff, and it really just kind of like angers me. I don't know why.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, it's just disappointing. Like, I want people to do the businesses and get the lives that they want. And maybe if it's working at a bigger company and having like a tiny side project, but it's just, if we can do anything and encourage to reduce the excuses and get started today, like that to me is like,
cool. How about you reiterate before we get off that competition again?
Yes. So just to remind you guys before we leave, like, please don't buy this if you're not ready to start your business. If you're just thinking about it, or if you're already an expert, or you're just lazy,
GoDaddy's too hard.
Yeah. I don't want to do the work. Don't do this. Don't buy it. Don't. Just please don't. If you're serious, then buy it. And what we'll do is we'll be your first customers, Neville or me, if it's not completely expensive. If it's reasonable, we'll do it. Or if it's just signing up or doing something, we will help. We enjoy that. Secondly, do something. Get the momentum started this week. For the next 30 days, is that reasonable? Or the first 50 people, do something, make a YouTube video, and email I did it at appsumo.com, and we will give you a bonus. It's going to be good, and you'll appreciate it. But we want to encourage you to get that momentum and get started today.
Sweet. Cool. This is I wonder if this would get caught by the porno filters on YouTube.
Oh, God.
Now, a couple of people have asked, oh, what's behind the Sumo Business Blueprint main screen? I see this stuff and I submit my email, and if I buy it from AppSumo, then what happens? Well, here's what happens. You get login to a special area. You'll get your URL and then your custom password. So what you do is you go over here. You log into the back end, and this is what you'll see. This is just an explanation of how to use the course. You get sign up to this update form over here, so you get all the updates every time they come out to your email. And then you get this first part, the second part, third part, fourth part. The first part has about 10 videos. And I'm going to scroll through this really quick so you don't know what you're seeing, because you got to buy it first. Ooh. And then you get the second part. This is how we build a business and a ghetto test right in front of your eyes. The first part is learning all the technical stuff, learning how to judge a market, all that kind of stuff, learning how to market for free without spending any money. That's the good stuff, I think. And then the second part is all the, we build a business in front of your eyes and show how to test stuff. The third part, we actually kill the wantrepreneurism inside you. We have 2 exclusive interviews, actually, that I'm really proud of. We got Dan Graham of Build a Sign, a $30 million a year company, and he started out by just trying stuff. We got Mickey Ristroff of Mutual Mobile. They're the largest iPhone and iPad developer in the nation, and the guy is only 24, which you think, oh, he's a super genius, but no. He actually started out as a wantrepreneur himself, he tells you, and then he tried a bunch of crappy little projects and ended up into a big company, and he shows how he did that. And then you get the next steps, and you get a little bit of a bonus video over here that only costs $99 to buy. And so you get 2 little bonuses over there, and that's what's behind the course. But who cares what the back end looks like? Yeah, it looks all cute and stuff, but the content is what you want. So Sumoling, do yourself a favor. If you really want to get this, get it. If you're not going to take action, don't. But if you want to do, go to the AppSumo page, buy it. There's a 100% refund policy because we stand by all our stuff. And this is good stuff. We've already sent it to test people, and they're just like, holy crap, this is really, really good. I'm actually inspired to do stuff, and I'm already doing stuff. A lot of people just simply don't know how to do all this stuff. And in these videos, we actually go through and show you. Even Noah, the founder of AppSumo and number 30 at Facebook, number 3 at Mint, founder at Gambit, all that kind of stuff. He goes and shows you and actually builds a business himself right in front of you. He scopes out a market, finds a niche, identifies competition, all in like 18 minutes in one of the videos. It's so quick, and most people just don't know how to do it. So do yourself a favor and check out the Sumo Business Blueprint. We hope you won't regret it, and in fact, we are guaranteeing you with 100% money back that you love it. And you also get a little bonus in the back. It's gonna, I won't tell you. So get the Sumo Business Blueprint.